Richard Stafford, Turner and Townsend. I'm a director in the business. I have responsibility for aviation, for both the airports and the rail stations. How that building works for people on a human scale, how it moves people around, that's really important, and I think that's an area that the architects can really add benefit that just coming up with an engineering solution won't necessarily provide. In terms of adding more value to a project, again, understanding what it is your client's seeking to get out of that project. A number of the infrastructure clients are clearly public sector. Public sector funding is an area that's come under particular scrutiny at the moment. There's a lot of challenges for all the departments. And as a consequence, clients are looking to deliver projects more for less. I think where the architects can help there is to focus their design efforts on areas that are very important to the client, and understand that there are parts of the project which are very visible and need that focus. There are other areas which maybe don't require the same level of input and detailing from the architect. So it's about understanding your client, not just the project in particular they're working on, but the environment that client is working in, and the issues and pressures that they may be coming under as an organisation, and how we as consultants and the architects in particular can help that client deliver not just the physical objectives, but their more business and government related objectives as well.
My name's Laura Kidd. I'm at the moment Head of Architecture for HS2 Limited. I joined the project 3 years ago, and since then we've been working on preparing the bill, getting the bill into Parliament, and working on the requirements and the design approach for the project. I'm looking to my architects to help me deliver the vision for HS2, because they are my key supporters. They are going to have to be out there to work with HS2, to work with the stakeholders, to work with the contractors for us to deliver this vision, so we actually do deliver this legacy. The best thing about being on major infrastructure projects is that they are really public architecture, and they're for everybody, and everybody can use them and appreciate them, and that everybody will have an opinion as well. But architecture needs to be functionally sound, but it also needs to give you the vision. It needs to establish a place. These projects are so big that they encompass so many aspects of architecture, and it's very challenging to actually bring all those things together. You know, how do you bring in regeneration, oversight development, and a good public realm, and a good intermodal connectivity, and a fantastic station and passenger experience? It's very complicated, and the only people that are really skilled to deliver that are architects through architecture. I think getting new talent on infrastructure projects is a challenge, just because of the way that they're run, because you usually end up with an MDC that then brings on an architect on board as a partner. But that doesn't mean to say that on big projects there aren't opportunities. So we will be looking for opportunities whereby we can get new talent, because we've got a mandate to actually to provide a legacy.
I'm Charles Mills. I work for London Underground, and my job is to liaise with Crossrail and manage the interface between London Underground and that mega project building a new railway across central London. We are very cognizant of the fact that we have to spend carefully. So we want to focus on whole life cost. And whole life cost is about maintainability, product life, etc. The architect's priority is probably something different to that. And they have in their mind the vision and the wow factor, whereas we have in mind something quite different. I mean, what architect was ever remembered for having a low maintainable cost building? They aren't, are they? They're remembered for having something that looks phenomenal. My message about adding value is to work with us to deliver more projects for less money, because our funding is being reduced. We are having to be self-sufficient. We will not be able to look to government in the future to fund our projects and have to come from revenue. So I want the architect to work with us to drive down the cost and deliver more value for the same money.
I'm Julian Robinson, and I'm the Head of Architecture currently working for Crossrail. And one of the key drivers for me with using architects in the right way is to actually drive standardisation, to drive functionality. We might see it, I expect architects to see it in a different way to perhaps an engineered approach, but I'm looking for the architects to bring out the best of that engineering, in some respects to manipulate it so that we can achieve a wider standardisation. That doesn't mean you're having to spend lots of money, and I don't expect and I don't want architects, and I don't believe architects need to come up with expensive solutions. It's part of their innovation, it's part of their creativeness to work within the constraints of requirements, but to be able to manipulate and use those requirements to come up with something that's more than just a bog basic standard, absolutely standard, repeatable solution. Certainly in railways, everybody concentrates on running a train and building a station, but the only reason you run a train is to move people, and the only reason you build a station is to stop the train, and the only reason the station is there when you stop the train is to move the people again. So there's an interaction of people all the way through that journey, and architects bring that as the value to what we do in infrastructure. If you don't have the architect, you end up with a very bare solution. Good architects will bring a wider understanding outside the world of architecture. They will bring with them an appreciation of other disciplines. They'll bring with them an appreciation of construction. They will bring with them an appreciation of the need for clarity. And they will bring with them an appreciation that whilst design is iterative, you can't keep iterating, you do have to move on. A poor approach is typically one that an architect will get over-involved in too early in the look and feel of it. They're not very good at being clear as to how they're going to approach the entirety of their design process. And they are not very good at recognising when it's time to drop something and either start again because it's got too complicated and just simply won't work. Nice idea, but not for here, thank you very much, it's now dead. And effectively take you down blind alleys. And again, are not very good at recognising that the client doesn't necessarily always know exactly what it is he wants. They have to work with you to come to the end answer. I would like to see architects moving more into the sort of what you might term managerial rather than drawing side, so that you can bring some of the appreciation of architecture into programme management, into cost management, into contract management. I think it's an area where they can develop quite well. But beyond that, they can keep bringing back in to focus back again on perhaps the passenger type experience in my world, the more human aspect. It's bringing a better appreciation of why something is being done in the first place. It's for people.